A breakup, in many ways, is a form of death, but without a body. It's an emotional and mental death that literally makes you feel like you're physically dying. No matter how many breakups you've been through, each one is different, and it's nearly impossible to predict how you react until you're confronted with it. This unpredictability is what makes a breakup so scary and emotionally overwhelming. While I cannot magically make your pain go away, I can attempt to ease your anxiety by telling you what you can expect and how to manage the aftermath. Your experience as a Dumpee can be broken up into 3 main stages. 1. Crisis. 2. Reflection. And 3. Integration. Each one lasts about 3 to 4 months depending on your life experiences, age, coping skills, support system, the actions you take, and other resources. I would go into these factors in a later video, but for now, let's look at what you may experience in each of these stages. Starting with crisis, this is the immediate aftermath of learning that the love of your life has left you. If you did not see it coming, the news might be too overwhelming for you to process in that moment. Even if you knew something isn't right or suspect an impending breakup, you probably weren't prepared that it'll happen this soon. Regardless, expect to feel shock, numb, and be in denial for the first 1 to 2 weeks. This is normal, and it's a way for your brain to protect itself from the impact of the news until it can be processed. After this initial shock wears off, anxiety, panic, and confusion takes over once you realize that the breakup was real and not a drill. This state of heightened anxiety, panic, and confusion will make you obsess over your ex, idolizing them, stalking them, messaging them, or even chasing them down for answers. Getting them back now become a matter of survival, life and death, and your sole focus. Like an addict going through withdrawal symptoms, your perspective becomes narrowed, short-sighted, and limited. You may even act irrationally and out of character. This includes begging, pleading, and buying all sorts of Get Your Ex Back programs and coaching services. Or worse, attempt to stay friends with your ex or continue sleeping with them because you love them so much, but really, it's because you're frightened of losing them forever. If groveling is not your style, you might use denial to suppress the painful feelings of their rejection, convincing yourself that you don't really care or need them. This can go on for a while, and if you were unable to change your ex's mind or process your pain, you might decline into hopelessness and despair. Soon after, depression and loneliness follow. This happens around 3 to 4 months once you realize that nothing you did works and there's no hope of getting your ex back, especially if you found out that they're in a new relationship. Reality finally sinks in. It's really over. They're gone, and now you're all alone. Here, you might be consumed with guilt and blame yourself for the demise of your relationship, of how you push your ex further away because of all your crazy behaviors. Or you try to distract yourself with work, food, alcohol, drugs, shopping, or a rebound relationship to help you get over your ex and escape the pain. As long as you continue to avoid dealing with your pain and ruminating after your ex, believing that they're the one, this is where you'll stay, trapped in the crisis stage. The only way to break out of it is to ask yourself 2 crucial questions. Have I suffered enough? And do I want to do anything about it? Until you decide to stop getting your ex back, commit to going no contact, and refocus on yourself, you will continue to be miserable. If you're willing to do something about your situation, then you are ready for the second stage, reflection. This is where the real healings begin. Since you are no longer holding your ex up on a pedestal like you did when you were trying to win them back, you can now fully feel the hurt and anger. You may naturally want to reassess your entire relationship, Realize that you deserve better and not everything was your fault. Your ex may even appear very unattractive to you at this point. Of course, you can still care, love, and miss your ex terribly, but you can see the unfixable dysfunctions in the relationship and why you guys shouldn't be together. Or if it's salvageable, it would require a lot of changes from both of you. With this new insight, you can channel this energy into improving yourself. This includes working out, exercising, reconnecting with friends and family, focusing on work, or traveling. For some people, this is sufficient enough for them to move on. However, if you stay motivated to continue learning, you might eventually self-reflect on yourself and your issues. You'll get curious to why you do what you do and how that reflected in your choice of partners. This is more than just improving yourself on the outside, but true self-awareness and healing. You may want to seek professional help for support at this stage, since it might uncover some painful childhood trauma. Not surprisingly, this will take an enormous amount of emotional strength and mental resilience because you may soon be confronted with shame, guilt, and depression. However, the depression you experience this time is accompanied by greater insights and awareness, not unlike the first one in the crisis stage. This is healing pain, and it's expected and normal as long as you get the right help to access it safely. Lastly, you might experience a deep amount of grief for all the insights you have recovered and everything that you have lost. Not just your ex or the relationship, but precious parts of yourself as well. Luckily, there's an end to all this grieving with enough time, self-compassion, forgiveness, and proper support. As you move toward the end of the reflection stage, you might feel some anxiety and doubt about moving on, which marks the next and final stage of integration at around the 6 to 7 month mark. This anxiety and doubt is normal as you transition from reflection to integration. This ambivalence is normal as you're grappling with the reality of moving on, facing the world on your own, or rejoining the dating scene. Perhaps you have never been alone before, or worried that you're too old to find happiness. Or maybe this is where your ex reaches out to you, wanting to reconcile. What should you do? You still love him and miss all the good times together. This unexpected twist might cause you to stop your progress here and return to them, or at least be very conflicted internally. I will address this situation in a separate video. But for now, let's say that you didn't hear from your ex. Onward and forward to integration. Luckily, it's all uphill from here, in a very good way. To ease your doubt and anxiety about moving on, you need to work on rebuilding your self-esteem and learn to trust yourself. Hopefully, by now, you have realized just how unpredictable life is, especially in relationships where nothing is guaranteed. But life must go on, and hope is necessary. But this is not blind hope. It's based on the wisdom and strength that you have developed throughout this breakup experience. Here, you know that no matter what happens in the future, you'll be okay and trust yourself enough to make the best decision for yourself. Once you're ready, you can let go, forgive your ex, and move on with peace. Finally, you have arrived. Heal from your breakup and become a completely new and better version of yourself as you move forward into the future. Thank you for staying until the end. I hope that seeing an overview of this entire experience has been helpful and maybe even inspiring for you, no matter what stage you're in. There is hope and an enormous potential for personal growth from this experience. And the pain does lessen and eventually ends at some point, but that all depends on you. What action will you take next to get you there? If you have suffered enough and ready to do something about it, please check out my online program, coaching, and in-person workshops to help you heal after your breakup. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.